Howdy, everyone. Frankie here, New West Reset. Hello. How's it going? Welcome back. Thank you very much for shooting in, joining a fella here for another one. Another live one, as a matter of fact. New West Reset Live, episode 135 here today. Sunday, August 31st, 2025. Just a wee bit, just a skosh. Just a titch. No, two titches. Two titches. Past 5 p.m. local time. Mountain time, of course, because as always, we're coming at you live from right here in Purdy, Alberta, southern Alberta. Calgary, Alberta, up in Canada land there, eh, buddy? So thank you very much for joining me here. Beautiful day today. It's actually a little bit too hot. I know, I sound crazy right now. You sound like a crazy person, but yeah, we're having a heat warning this past week and for the better half of this coming week. It's nuts, man. It's nucking futs is what it is. 30 degrees Celsius right now. That's creeping up on 100 Fahrenheit for my American friends. Hotter than Satan's taint. You know what I'm saying? And I like the summer. I love the summer, actually. But yeah, you got to be careful, if you're going to be out for an extended period of time when it's that hot out, man. You got to bring some water, all the stuff people tell you to stay hydrated, man. Yeah, no kidding. What do you think? I'm not getting thirsty out here in 100-degree weather? The sun beating down on me? Come on, man. Anyway, I'm not complaining, really. It's just, it's just hot. It's just hot. We had a strange freak thunder shower yesterday, just out of the blue in the evening. I was just sitting here working on some stuff and started. Well, it was like thunder and lightning. I swear to the Lord above, it was frightening. And then the rain just came shooting down diagonally because of the whipping winds and whatnot for, 10, 15 minutes, and then it stopped. It was fine. All right. Sure. So, yeah, wacky stuff. I think that was, the big guy, the man upstairs there saying, you've been hot for a while down there. And I know you Canadians can't really take the heat. So I'm going to sprinkle some rain on and down. Just give you a break for 10, 15 minutes. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for being here. Really appreciate you joining me here on this one. Of course, Sunday Fun Day. Woo! Woo! If you haven't already, consider giving a guy one of these or one of these. It's fine. It just kind of helps to push me out into the algorithmic thing there. Every little bit helps. So appreciate that. Thank you to everybody who's already shared and subscribed. If you're watching this after the live, really appreciate you as well. Thank you very much. Howdy to everybody on HooTubes and on the Bumble. Broadcasting simultaneously live on both YouTube and Rumble right now. Links below for everything we're going to cover here on the show. Again, we're going to be looking at White Plains, New York, the top half of the show. And then after the mid-show break, we'll look at some old photographs from 1963 until 43. So a nice 80-year chunk there. All right, enough of that. Let's say howdy to everybody in the box here. See how everyone's doing and whatnot. Say hello, by the way. Let me know how you're doing. What's going on? Battlestar's here. Battlestar Utarian. Hello. Good to see you. Thanks for shooting in there. Kathy Broughton in the box. Howdy, Kathy. Down in Kentucky land. If it's hot up here, it must be really hot there. Must be hot in Missouri too. Water the trees here. Good to see you, bud. Hippie Shake. Thank you for sharing all of that, Hippie. Appreciate you, as always. DN is here. Howdy, DN. How you doing? Hello there. Realm Dweller over on Rumble. You know, that green flatten platform. Good to see you. How's it going? Baja is here. Howdy, Baja. Hello there to you. Is that everyone? I think I got everyone. Nope. Tino's here. Hey, buddy. Yeah, you over there with the cactus. Yeah, I know. It's hot enough for cactus here. Tino's here. Good to see you, Turtle. How you doing? So Al's here as well. I almost missed Al. Al Triano. Buongiorno, come stai, Brian? Hello, Brian. Guten Tag, Brian. So yeah, we're going to look at White Plains, New York. This comes from, what is this from? This is from a website that was shared to me quite a while ago from a friend of ours here at the chat. Friend of mine, friend of yours, friend of ours. DCMNY, Digital Culture of Metropolitan New York website. And then you can sort of narrow your searches and look around and find all kinds of stuff from New York there. You know, the giant peach or whatever they call it. So thank you very much to our buddy George Prokopenko. He was not well. He wasn't feeling well for a while there. So he's been kind of relaxing and on the mend. So shout out to George, making sure you're all right there, bud. So as mentioned, it's White Plains. So we're going to have a look at the Wikipedia, as per usual. It's always good for shits and giggles. Then I found another website from the city of White Plains. Then we'll have a look at a couple of things there. And as mentioned, we'll do the usual schedule. My mother says schedule, and I say schedule because there's that C in there, right? That makes it ska, but not always, right? SCH, like school, schedule. But then there's Schultz, SCH. That's pronounced sh, like shush, which is SH, such as shout. I've gone off the rails here. I don't know. But anyway, as per the usual schedule, take a mid-show break, give you a sneak peek at your upcoming midweek. And when we come back, we'll look at said old-timey photos. Again, sort of a nice 100-year or 80-year chunk. There are photos from 1880 or 1863. Get it right, Frankie. Jeez, 1863 to 1943. There it is. Yeah, progress. Depends on what syllable you put the emphasis on. See what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. Anyway, thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. There he is. How's it going there, eh, buddy? Dragon Sage in the box. Good to see you, Sage. Bellstar says, I'm definitely thankful for the cooler nights here in Colorado, as I've missed my weighted blanket. It's kind of that time of year around here too, where, yeah, we might shoot up to 30, 32, 34 degrees Celsius during these heat wave, high heat warnings here in Calgary. But at night, it'll cool down to 15 Celsius, right? So, you know, it could shoot up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit during the day. But in the evening, it goes down to, you know, 60, 58, 62, 64-ish, somewhere in there. So that's, you know, it's not bad. You can sleep, right? But in July, when it gets to 35 Celsius or, 105 Fahrenheit is at night, it's still 25 Celsius, like 85 degrees or something Fahrenheit. I mean, you're tossing and turning. I just take everything off the bed and I just sleep on the fitted sheet with my pillow, and that I don't even pull a sheet over me. Some people pull the sheet over sort of halfway and they stick one foot or one leg out, and that's their climate control. There's the 1 foot out, right? But no, he's still toss and turn. It's just, it's rough, man. It's rough. Hotter than a devil's dick. But here it's, what do they always say? Well, yeah, at least it's a dry heat. Shut up. It's still hot. A-hole in the dry heat. So that's what, like the Sahara Desert? Huh? Like Death Valley? Oh, you're really selling it to me there, bub. It's just a dry heat then. I sort of get it when it's really, really humid and you're sweating like a whore in church. It's tough, sure, I get it, but it's no better or worse than the dry heat. It's just a different kind of heat. Howdy, Paul. Paul Thaddeus in the box. Good to see you there. How's she going there, bud? Slid all hang out. Yeah, that's right. Pretty much. What are the Teresa's? I like the cold. When it's, I don't like extremes, right? Plus 35 degrees Celsius, right? Nope. That's terrible. But guess what? Minus 35 Celsius? That's also terrible. Because I think they even out at minus 40. Minus 40 Celsius is minus 40 Fahrenheit, or minus 35 and 35 is the same or something. So you just know, like, it's cold, man. If it's, anywhere between plus 15 and plus 20, maybe plus 25. And that's perfect. That's perfect. That gives you a 60 degrees up to 85 degrees at the most. Perfect. Now all the people that ski and snowboard are shaking their fists at their monitors right now, or their devices, and angrily typing away on the old keyboard. Dear New West Reset, you are an idiot. Anyway, enough screwing around here. What do you say we check the Wikipedia and see what they have to say about White Plains, New York? Why, oh why, even bother with the Wikipedia, you may ask? That's what most normies look at, right? When they want to know something about something. Who's getting up and going to the library anymore? Even me, I don't do that. I could just get on the Kajugal and the goggle machine and just Kajugal it, right? And usually what's the first thing that pops up? Either the AI, which I can't stand, or the Wikipedia, which at least is humorous. So that's something. So White Plains, New York is a city in and the county seat of Westchester County, New York, United States. Really? Thanks for clarifying that New York State is in the United States. Otherwise, I would have just got confused. Sage says, I just adapt, hot or cold. Yeah. I mean, if it's really cold, you can just add layers and wear, the appropriate clothing, right? A nice down-filled parka, 3/4 length, long underwear under your trousers or pants, pair of cotton socks, a pair of wool socks over top, and a good pair of winter boots, and then some mittens and a toque, and then you're good to go there, bud. Just keep moving, layer it up. But when it's, plus 35 Celsius, I mean, there's only so much you can strip off you, right? You can't walk around outside in your birthday suit. They don't like it. So it's an inner suburb of New York City and a commercial hub of Westchester County. a densely populated suburban county that is home to about 1 million people. White Plains is located in central Westchester County. Its downtown, Mamaroneck Avenue, is 25 miles or 40 clicks north of Midtown Manhattan. Roughly 60,000 people in the 2020 census. According to the city government, the daytime weekly population is estimated at 250,000. Quarter of a mil. All right, sure. Battlestar says, slippers are wonderful. Yeah. I tend to go barefooted around the place here in the summer, unless I'm going outside. But in the winter, I do wear slippers. I've got some crocheted slippers that my grandma made, and I've got 3 pair. They're kind of like sweaters. There's like slip-on, but they're like socks, right? Like ankle socks, but they're crocheted slippers. So they're like sweaters or jumpers if you're from the UK for your feet. Because our place is a lot of hardwood floor here in our place. And say what you want, carpeting is warmer in the winter than the hardwood floor is. So yeah, if I'm just bumming around the place during the day, in the house, slippers, it is. All right, the early history here. At the time of the Dutch settlement of Manhattan, in the early 17th century, the region had been used as farmland by the Wecquaesek tribe, a Wapringer people, and was called Quaropas. I probably butchered all of that. Sorry. To early traders, it was known as the White Plains, either from the white balsam, which was said to have covered it, or from the heavy mist the local tradition suggests hovered over the swamplands near the Bronx River. I love it when they're giving you what I guess they're touting as the official history here. And, they've got their little, what do they call these? The glossary where they give you their appendage to the thing with the index to their sources or what. I don't know. I'm not a librarian with the Dewey Decimal System and all that, but you know what I'm saying. This is where they get their sources from. So they got all that going, but it's the name, but we're not sure where the name comes from. Could be from the white balsam plant, or it could be because of the heavy mist over swamps. Isn't swamp gas green? Isn't that what we're told? I'm not sure. Quainitap. Good to see you. Old World Mi'kmaq. In the box. So the first non-native settlement came in November 1683 when a party of Connecticut Puritans moved westward from an earlier settlement in Rye and bought about 4,400 acres or 18 square kilometers, presumably from the Wecquaesek peoples. Where the heck's Rye? Oh, it's just another city in Westchester. All right, sure. So they moved from already one city to another place and bought up a bunch of land from the indigenous peoples. That's new. Normally it's just, we're going to come in and take it, or here, sign this here goofy treaty that we're not going to hold our end up of, and then get the hell out of here. Dirty redskins. Isn't that how it goes, Mi'kmaq? It's usually how it goes there, right? Anyway, however, John Richbell of Mamaroneck claimed to have earlier title to much of the territory through his purchase of a far larger plot extending 20 miles or 32 kilometers inland, perhaps from a different tribe. So there's 2 different tribes in this 4,000 acres-ish area. And one tribe sold the land to one guy and the other tribe sold it to another guy. Is that what they're trying to tell us? Yeah, sure. Okay. Looks like the Europeans were duped by the indigenous peoples for a change here on this one. The matter was not settled until 1721, when a royal patent for White Plains was granted by King George II. Royal patent for what? For the land? Never heard of that. Is that a thing? You can patent this land because I said so. There, now that settles it. Huh? It's okay. Fine, sure. In 1758, White Plains became the seat of Westchester County. When the colonial government for the county left Westchester, which was located in what is now the northern part of the borough of the Bronx in New York, the unincorporated village remained part of the town of Rye until 1788, when the town of White Plains was created. So it was close enough to still be considered part of Rye, but these Puritans decided that they were going to move, but they didn't want to move too far. Just far enough to get bamboozled by the indigenous Native Americans for the land, I guess. I don't know. On July 9th, 1776, a copy of the Declaration of Independence was delivered to the New York Provincial Congress, which was meeting in the county courthouse. The delegates quickly adopted a resolution approving the declaration, thus declaring both the colony's independence and the formation of the state of New York. The declaration itself was first publicly read from the steps of the courthouse on July 11th. Got her done up there pretty quick there, from July 4th to the 9th to the 11th. They must have sent that by Pony Express. They were in a hurry there, eh? During September and October of 1776, you know what? I'm going to have a sip of my coffee here. Cheers to you. For some reason, I'm having some trouble here with with my lips. Stop moving your lips. There we go. Anyways. All right. Take two. I'm just doing like the I don't have cue cards or anything here. Just like old Alex from what's his name there? Alex, the conspiracy theorist guy from the internet. I'm teleprompter free here, folks. Anyways, troops led by George Washington took up positions in the hills of the village, hotly pursued by the British under General Sir William Howe, who attacked on October the 28th. The Battle of White Plains. There, it happened because they put a cannon on a rock with a plaque in a park, so it's got to be real. Took place primarily on Chatterton Hill, later known as Battle Hill. Well, they weren't going to call it Battle Hill before the battle was there, I guess, would they? That's the guy. Thank you. Thank you. I have no idea why I was drawing a blank on Alex Jones. Anyways, that located just west of what was then a swamp. Places like this always used to be a swamp. And then somebody comes along and says, this looks like a darn tootin' fine place to build a town. Right here in this here swamp. Let's drain it and get her going. But it's now the downtown area. See? And the Bronx River. So it used to be a swamp, and now it's got the downtown and a river. How'd that happen? House force of 4,000 to 6,000 British and Hessian. So it's always these Hessian guys. Required 3 attacks before the Continentals, numbering in about 1,600 under the command of Generals Alexander McDougall and Israel Putnam, retreated, joining Washington's main force, which did not take part in the battle. House forces itself. Yeah, okay. All right, that's fine. The United States Census conducted 1709 listed White Plains population 505 people, of whom 46 were enslaved folks. So you had like 440-ish people, give or take. No, 449 people. Is that right? 439 people. 49 people. I don't know. 441 people? No, yeah, 300 and some folks that were free folks and 46 that were enslaved folks. They still counted them on the census? I guess they did. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I'm just a naive, sheltered Canadian. Oh, very efficient. Very efficient. Battlestar Utarian says efficient city planners back in the day. Yeah, definitely. By 1800, population was 575. So 10 years, they only gained, 70 people. And in 1830, 830. So yeah, not much going on here. By 1870, 26 years after the arrival of New York Central Railroad, it had swollen to 2,006. I see, there you go. You got to get them railroads in there before you get the folks in. Otherwise, how are they going to get there, right? It's lots of ways. Oxen and cart, horse and buggy, horseback, bicycle, heel toeing it. Heck, you could ride a bison. I don't know. So that in the decades that followed, the count grew to 9. Downtown developed into a shopping district featuring branches of many famous New York-based department and specialty stores. Some of these retail locations were the first large-scale suburban stores built in the U.S. of A. But they need a citation on that. In 49, Macy's launched a grand White Plains store on Main Street across from City Hall. So there's a lot of prestigious places here, apparently. Altman and Company, Rogers Peet, never heard of them. Saks, okay, everybody's heard of them. Lord Taylor, I don't know who that is. Alexander's, sure. Wallach's. Oh, Bergdorf Goodman, yeah, I heard of them. And Neiman Marcus. Looks like a lot of them are moved into fancy Hudson's Bay-like buildings here in Canada. The Neiman Marcus building looks like the Bay building downtown Calgary. Wow, look at this thing that Bergdorf moved into. Nothing else here, though, for old buildings. Oh, Saks, of course. Yeah. Beauty. Oh, another one. It looks like the Bay in Calgary, too. Or the Bay in Vancouver. Or in Regina. Saskatoon. Toronto. Okay, then it goes into, the 50s and 60s and so on and so forth. So yeah, links below for that. Again, the Wikipedia on good old White Plains, New York. I would say the majority of it is. I mean, you might as well say it all is because I mean, everything's peppered with so much misinformation, disinformation, lies, and half truths that I mean, you just don't know what to believe, right? So I mean, I just question everything. Yeah, Kathy, exactly. Kathy Broad says I'm questioning our entire past. Absolutely. You gotta. There's nothing wrong with just asking a question, right? There's absolutely nothing wrong with just asking, just kind of asking. That's all it is.
Let me ask you something. How come you asking so many jackassy questions?
Sage says, I smell baloney. I smell baloney. So speaking of baloney, I'm just going to share this other website here. This is the official cityofwhiteplains.com. City of White Plains, New York website. PCS World is in the box. Howdy, howdy. How's she going there, eh? So the history of White Plains, a brief history of White Plains. White Plains, the county seat of Westchester County, New York since 1757, came into being in 1683. Men from nearby Rye, New York, purchased 4,435 acres. So they get it right down to the 5-acre number there, eh? Of land from the Wequaskek Indians, Wequaskek, excuse me. They dubbed their purchase White Plains, translating the Indian Quaropus or white marshes or plains. See, so you get a different story here. Now it's from white marshes. What about that white balsam plant? Or what about the misty swamp gas fog? 18 settlers were granted a patent to White Plains from King George II in 1721. At that time, homes, churches, and businesses had already sprung up along Village Street, now Broadway. They just sprung up, did they? Funny how that happens. In the first courthouse, built in 1758, the members of the 4th Provincial Congress of New York assembled on July 9th, 1770, and received a copy of the Declaration of Independence. Yada, yada. Document was referred to a committee of 5, chaired by John Jay. This committee reported back favorably at the same day, whereupon the Provincial Congress immediately approved the document. And instructions were sent to New York's delegates in Philadelphia to sign the declaration. That day, the Congress also resolved in order that the style or title of this house be changed from that of the Provincial Congress of the Colony of New York to that of the Convention of Representatives of the State of New York. Still doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. Channel 53 says, sorry, I got to run, guys. The date. This is the date, number 4 in 2 weeks. Must not be blowing it. All right. Good luck. Good luck. Don't forget to wash your face. I don't know what that means, but there you go. Have a good time. Thanks for shooting in there, bud. So then July 11th, 1776, Judge John Thomas of Purchase. So he wasn't even from White Plains or from Rye. He stood on the steps of the courthouse in White Plains and read the Declaration of Independence to the public for the first time in the state of New York. Several months later, George Washington and his troops fought British. Yeah, okay, we got all this. 1790, the population was 5. Yeah, it's basically they've just cut and paste from the Wikipedia. This is nice, though. What's this place? That's the second courthouse. Huh. It's pretty fancy. In 1844, the railroad reached White Plains and beyond. Gradually, businesses left the village street for the newly named Railroad Avenue, now Main Street, which connected the village street with the railroad depot. A new courthouse was erected on Railroad Avenue in 1856. When was the other one built? 17 something? 1758. So basically, they couldn't even wait 100 years to get their new courthouse. All right. Eddie O knows in the box. Good to see you. I love how the railroads pop up all around North America in the same years. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah, they just kind of magically, all these independent smaller railroads, state or colonial railroads in the U.S. pop up here in Canada land, kind of the same thing. Independent smaller railroads, lumber businesses, coal mining companies have their own railroads. Then, bigger ones buy out smaller ones, and they all get interconnected. And then the big, huge national railways come up in the 1860s to 1880s, between the US and Canada. And they buy up all the, even more railroads. And then they start building new track and link and stuff. And all of a sudden, magically, there are all these railroad towns, and railroad track just pops up everywhere with huge roundhouses and turntables and locomotives being manufactured out of the blue. Yeah. It's like a blink of an eye. Went from horses pulling stuff to steam engine railroad locomotives pulling stuff. By 1870, the population exceeded 2,500 and was incorporated as a village. In 1866, it became a city, the dawn of 1916. It became an important legal and banking center. In 1915, ground was broken for a new county courthouse. So now it's their third one now. Jeez, you just can't wait, eh? Profile of Main Street was changing quickly. New municipal building was dedicated on Washington's birthday in 1925. Home Savings Bank in 25. Westchester Title and Trust at 2 William Street opposite the courthouse open. Well, they were just knocking them up in 25 and 26. Lawyers Building in 26. 10-story building. It's just no stopping these guys. Well, it is the Roaring 20s after all, people. Roaring 20s. Here's the photo of the from the thumbnail. You can see right here. There's some construction. So, it's the Lawyers Building in 26, eh? Sure. Urban renewal changed the face of downtown White Plains between the 60s and the 80s. Of course. That's when they just start knocking stuff down. Oh, I forgot to mention their post office 31. They jumped from 1931 to 1966. Thanks for that. Oh, well, at least we got some nice photos. This one's a beaut. Can I click on it? Nope. Can't do it. All right. So be it. So I don't know. I mean, you tell me. I mean, it's generally speaking, it's a lot of the same stuff that we that pop up all the time with these official stories, whether it's from Wikipedia or some other source. It's always kind of the same thing.
Shenanigans.
I've mentioned this before, and other folks have talked about it too. It's just like they've got a finite number of official stories or narratives that they're going to give cities or towns, right? They've got, a box full of 30 stamps, and they just grab one and they just rubber stamp. White Plains, New York gets that. They get that story. They get the swamp narrative that eventually becomes their downtown. They get the, we need 3 or 4 county courthouse buildings in the span of 125 years. Nothing happens till the railroad comes through here. This is New York, by the way. We're not talking about out in the boondocks here, okay? We're not talking about on the west side of the Mississippi or anything. They even said themselves, that originally it was the 1640s, the Dutch, right? Old New Amsterdam. So it's, it's not like, by the time we get into the mid 1700s and the mid 1800s, it's not like this is all new territory here. Yeah, their titles are always the opposite of what they do, right? Yeah. Idiono says, I have a hunch that a lot of these old photos of everyone in them are photoshopped. You never see anybody in the windows ever. The only time you'll see people hanging out of open windows in buildings is if there's a parade going by. Then everybody's losing their mind for a parade. That old saying, everyone loves a parade. Well, yeah, I guess you could tell from these old photos because they're hanging out windows. They climb up onto the roofs of buildings. They're climbing trees and street light lamp posts, telephone poles, and just hanging off them like monkeys because they're just dying to catch the, the whatever parade. It's yeah. Otherwise, you're right. I guess you don't really see a lot of folks. You zoom in real close in a lot of these photos, and you can see that people and horses and buggies are painted in. Sometimes they'll just highlight the people that are there. They'll highlight with a bit of white paint and a bit of black paint to give you some, light and shadow. But you could tell that it's the original photo and it's just highlighting. And then there's somewhere they've blatantly drawn in or painted in vehicles, people, dogs. I've seen them draw in a dog in a photo. I'm like, really? Why? And that's because they're getting it ready for a postcard, a picture postcard, you see. So they got to make it look all hustle and bustle and put in people wearing nice clothing and riding fancy horse and buggies and people with their parasols wearing their Sunday best walking down the middle of the street for some reason. What happened? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? What happened? What happened? I don't know what happened. It's disappeared. But anyway, oh, Sasquatch. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Well, yeah, you might see him climbing ladders on some of these doctored or altered photos that we see. They might paint in a guy. Yeah, the first Photoshop. Exactly, Kathy. All right. Thank you, Hippie. You can hear me now? Good, good. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It was weird. It's weird, right? I thought I accidentally hit the wrong button and exited the studio here on the StreamYard thing, but no, I don't know what happened. Very strange. Yeah, you can see a lot of it too in these construction photos where there's no construction equipment. You just see a half or a quarter or a three-quarter built building. You see some scaffolding, and then you see some beams, but the beams look like somebody just took a ruler and an ink pen and just drew it. You, you don't really see a lot of equipment up there or guys up there. You just see a building stops, and then you see another floor or two of just the beams because they're still building it. It's still under construction. And then you see the whited out vanilla skies in the background. It's, yeah, it's, I don't know. To me, it's silly. Oh, train going by outside. Can you hear it? I live about 100, 150 yards from the train tracks here. So, and I love the train. I always get excited. It's stupid. I've lived where I live here for years, for pretty much my whole life. No matter where I've lived, I've been close enough to a train track where I can hear the train. But I still get all happy when I hear a train. You think by now I wouldn't even notice it? Once in a while, they'll draw in a what people call a crane, but it's not even a crane, it's a hoist. You know, because by the 1860s, we had steam cranes, so you didn't really need crane operate like manual cranes or manually operated hoists anymore. You could just have a steam crane. And most railroads had actually a steam crane on a railroad flatbed car. So you could just build your temporary track off the main track to your building site and wheel up all your supplies there. But until the train came along, everything had to be hauled by mule or horse or oxen. And we're talking New York State here. In the winter, it's going to be much like up here in Canada land. You know, it's cold and icy and blowing snow. You're not going to be out there digging a foundation for a building or up on some scaffolding outside laying brick. It's just not going to happen. Hippie Shake says, do the trains run at night, Frankie? If so, does it send you to sleep, the sound? They do. They run, one runs at midnight and one runs at around 4 a.m. and then another one around 6 a.m. and then throughout the day. Like this one here, it's right now it's 10 minutes before 6 p.m. This is actually this. It happened again, didn't it? I don't know what's going on. I apologize. I don't know what's happening there. Huh. Yeah. For some reason, my interwebs is giving me some problems, which is weird because I'm plugged right into the wall there, eh? I'm not like using the, the Wi-Fi with the Bluetooth on it. So I don't know. It could have something to do with the extreme heat because, whenever I'm having problems with the interwebs and I call the company and they say, oh, it's raining out there, bud. So that's why the signal she's giving you a hard time there, eh? Or on a day like today, well, she's pretty hot out there, eh, buddy? So like that's going to give you some problems there, bud. So yeah, that's probably more like it, I think. Because I get the tippy top tier of what I can get for the interwebs here. And the StreamYard that I use is paid. It's the paid version. So it's not the free version. So I should be hunky-dory good to go here. I don't know. And anyways, apologies for that. But yeah, if I'm already asleep, the train does not wake me up. But if I'm just drifting to sleep and the train goes by, it does help. Yeah, it does help. I've just gotten so, even when I was a little kid and still living back in Montreal before I moved here to Calgary, after we lived in an apartment from what time I was born until I was 5, and then my mama and daddy bought them a house in one of the little town off the island of Montreal, out of the big city, right? So it's kind of like a suburb, but it was its own little town. And that again was about 100, 150 yards, right? Roughly 100 meters or so, roughly ish, kind of, sort of, from the train. Howdy, Sandra. Sandra Marr in the box. Hello, all. Good to see you. So yeah, I love the train. I love the sound of the train. I love watching the train, even the more modern diesel engines that go by. If I'm going somewhere and a train is there going by, wherever, even if I'm not crossing that intersection, even if I don't have to wait for the train, I'll just stop and watch it. Everybody must think I'm a kook. That's why I get a kick out of the old Heritage Park here in Calgary. The old Pioneer Village Living Museum there. They've got the steam engine there, and they've got the old rickety, clickety-clack streetcar trolley tram thing. Love that stuff. What's going on here, hippie? Hippie Shake in the box says, my father was in the Royal Air Force. We were stationed in Devon, and every night we would hear the Sea King helicopters, and they would send me to sleep. Oh, see, there you go. Well, at least you didn't get the PTSD from hearing choppers flying overhead, right? That's a good thing. You didn't get the emotional damage. Sandra said, I love trains, wanted to be an engineer. My great-granddaddy and a couple of my great-uncles, as well as my granddaddy for a short spell, a couple of my uncles all worked for the railroad, and my cousin still works for the railroad, all out in Montreal. I never did, but I don't know. I guess it got into my blood somehow because I love it. Love the trains. That's why I got a lot of the vintage footage videos that I have on the channel here are about, just have old trains on them. I find old film footage of trains, and I got to share it because I love it so much, Speaking of which, 10 minutes before the hour here, approximately, roughly. What do you say, speaking of vintage footage, we take a mid-show break, and I give you a sneak peek at said vintage footage video. Every Wednesday, if you didn't already know, I upload vintage footage video. It's old-timey footage set to music. I try to keep it Canadian if and when I can. So for the Sunday live show, I always give you a sneak preview of that. So Sunday live, Wednesday vintage footage video, and then every Friday, boots on the ground. So if you're new to the channel, that's kind of how she goes here, eh? So check out my channel's homepage. I've got a lot of created playlists. I've got a vintage footage playlist, live stream playlists, boots on the ground playlists. You know, I've been doing this for, over 3 years now on the channel, and I've got well over 400 videos, well over 200 live streams. If you include, the vintage, the Sunday Fun Day show, New West Reset Live, but then, chill chats that I've done with other content creators, the Knucklehead show that I've done with my buddy Chris from Old World Exploration, chats that I've had, live chats with Stuffed Beagle. So yeah, check all that stuff out. Or Oot, whichever. All right, so without further ado there, what do you say we check this thing out here? What is this one anyways? What do we got going on here? This one is... Sorry, I've got to pull it up. I was not prepared. I'm ill prepared for some reason. Where is the daggum thing? Ah, here it is. This is some old... I was shocked when I found this. This is from 1921 or 22, I believe. It's footage of an old milk factory. Well, it's actually from the time the cow is milked to the time the milk is delivered. And this is from Edmonton, Alberta, up here in Canada land. The capital city here in my home province of Alberta. Just 3-hour drive north, Edmonton. This footage, at one point, you'll see a train rolling into town after they've loaded the milk onto the train. And you'll see the Capitol building, the provincial Capitol building in the background. The old world, ancient Romanesque building with the cupola and the dome and the pillars in the front. So yes, this is 100-year-old milk from 1920s. What are we looking at here time-wise? It's about 4 minutes long. She's a good one. So smoke them if you got them there, bud. Put on your ear goggles or your head cans. Turn her up to 11 there, eh? And we'll see on the other side of about 4 minutes. All right? Stick around. Be right back. Cheers. All right, and we're back. Welcome back, everyone. Frankie here. Howdy. How's it going? New West Reset. New West Reset Live. Episode 135 here today. We're going to be looking at White Plains, New York. Photo collection from between 1863 to 1943. Thank you very much for joining me here. Really appreciate that. What'd you think of that, by the way? Would you like that? What do you think of that? Did you like that? Milk. And the band, one of the greatest bands to come out of up here in Canada land there, eh, buddy? The Great Sloan out of Halifax, Nova Scotia, eh? Thank you for joining me here on the Sunday Fun Day. Sunday, August 31st, the last day in August already, 2025, 6 p.m. local time, mountain time, right on the old schnozola. Still getting a heat wave here, still 30 degrees Celsius right now. It's about, 95-ish Fahrenheit. It's hot here on the Sunday Fun Day Show. Woo! Woo! Thanks for winding down your weekend here with yours truly. If you haven't already, give a guy one of these and do all the other stuff down here to help me out. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks to everybody who's already shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. If you're watching this after the live, after the fact, appreciate you. Thank you. Links below for everything that we've covered here. Also, how you can get a hold of a guy, all my socials, guy's email and social media over on MeWe, BitChute, and of course, as mentioned, Rumble, broadcasting live simultaneously on both YouTube and Rumble. So howdy, everybody. Appreciate all of you being here. Kathy says, I bet that milk is rancid by now. Yeah. Whew. That's like 103-year-old milk. That ain't good. If it's cheese, maybe, it might be okay. Some 100-year-old Parmesan cheese or something. If there's, I think maybe, but milk, yeah. Well, yeah, live milk. Like I didn't grow up on a farm, but my dad and aunties and uncles did. And they had a small amount of cattle, some dairy cows. I think at their height they had like 6. And they had goats and pigs and chickens and yada yada. By the time I came along, no cows left. They had a few goats and chickens and geese and ducks. And Granddaddy just had to hang on to that one goofy mule that he had. But yeah, my dad says they used to just, one of his chores was, to milk the cows and, on the weekends, on the weekdays, Grandma milked the cows. And that's what they drank, just like right on their morning breakfast, Battlestar Utarian says nothing better than fresh, cold milk. Yeah, absolutely. The cream on the top. The cream always rises to the top, right? Oh, you grew up near dairy, huh? I grew up when I was a kid back in Montreal. Grew up fairly close to my grandparents' little farm. And then from there, it was only a couple of miles down the road to not a dairy farm, but a chicken farm. And we used to get farm fresh eggs on the cheap. We would just go in and just pick our own eggs. Put it in the cardboard flat thing, show it to the farmer or his wife, whoever was taking the cabbage for it, right? Flat eggs is 3 dozen, right? So yeah, all right, there you go. I think it was like $3 or something. Not even $2.50. I don't even remember. This is going back to the 70s though. So yeah, that's right. We got to tamper with everything. Yeah. Sandra Marr says pasteurization was only designed for beer, by the way, so the beer wouldn't explode or rot on the shelves. Yeah, they start messing with the milk when they pasteurize it. I mean, none of my aunties or uncles or my dad ever got sick from, as my dad said, it's straight from the teat, son, which basically meant you brought out your bucket and your stool, you milked the cow, and then you'd pour it into the big jug thing, and a picture of it, boom, went in the ice box in the kitchen. And there you go. And back when people had jobs, interesting concept. Yeah, you can't milk cows remotely. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, that's right. It is a Labor Day long weekend. I totally forgot about that, eh? Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, happy Labor Day. Happy socialist conceived holiday to get the last long weekend in for the summer. Last day of summer this year is what? September 22nd or something like that. Count yourself blessed, Frankie, says Sandra. We are chilling here in Ontario. Like chilling, like it's chilly out there? Really? Why, have you had a lot of rain and stuff? There's been a lot of stuff going on, as usual. There's been some floods. There's been some educational facilities that got some bang bangs recently. It's always a shame. It's god awful. Some teenager gets him a boomstick and goes into some building with childrens and starts going pappity pap pap. That's. You know what it is? It's the damn pharmaceuticals they put on these kids on. Yeah. I'm a teenager. I got angst. Yeah, who doesn't as a teenager? I was a teenager once too. Everybody in the box at some point or another was a teenager. All right. There was always somebody or something pissing us off, making us sad, making us miserable. But there was also a lot of stuff that was making us happy and laugh our asses off and having a good time. So, you got to just take it easy, man.
You know what I mean? All right, we're having a good time.
You feel bad. Okay, I get it. And there are legitimate mental illnesses where people have depression and whatnot. But these pills ain't helping. What did people do, 500 years ago before they started shoving pills down people's throats? Holistic stuff, natural stuff. But we've all forgotten it. And we can't go to the indigenous Native American and Canadian and Native Indian peoples and ask them because they done forgot too. What are elders in the reservations now were children back in the day, and they were torn from their families and sent to residential schools, sometimes 100 miles away from the reservation that their family was on. And they were forbidden to practice their native ways. So, boom, all that knowledge is gone. Well, it's not all completely gone, but yeah, she ain't easy. She ain't easy. It's not like back in the day easy, when people just could go out and forage and knew what to look for. Even in Boy Scouts when I was a kid, my scout leaders had no idea. We'd go on nature hikes or camping trips or whatever, and they would be like, for the love of God Almighty, don't touch anything out there. What really should be, see that? Yeah, you can eat that. Okay, don't touch that. It's itchy. Oh, that over there is delicious, especially the roots. Whatever, right? Nope. I was joking around earlier about the Wikipedia and stuff, and I know there's apps on your phone that you point it at a plant and it'll tell you if it's poisonous or if you can eat it or not or whatever. But you know what? AI is freaking stupid. I don't care what anybody says. Artificial intelligence might be artificial, but it's not very intelligent yet. People are blowing that shit way out of proportion. You could still tell a phony AI photo from a real one. I could tell an AI voice on some of these YouTube videos I watch. You click on it, you hear an AI voice. I'm like, I ain't watching that video. I want to hear a human being. Mistakes and coughs and ahs and ums and all. dog barking in the background. It's fine. Look at my show. Trains going by, ambulances making a racket. It's better than AI because AI is freaking stupid. It's liable to tell you, yeah, that plant's edible. You eat it and you get a case of the squirt and Hershey's, man. And when you're out in the woods camping, I mean, getting the runs at home is not fun. Imagine being out in the damn woods. If you're in a campground that has plumbed bathroom or washroom, restroom, whatever you want to call it, I guess it's still pretty shitty, if you pardon the pun, but you hump it out a couple of miles out into the woods where you're there for a few days and all you got is a tent and an open fire. You're packing everything in and packing everything out. You got to dig a hole to go poo-poo there, my friend. And if you got a case of the Coke Slurpees, you have yourself a wonderful night, Hippie. Hippie Shake says, it's 1 a.m. here in Wales now. So good night, everyone. Thank you so much, Hippie. I appreciate you. Have yourself a fantastic night. Well, technically morning, but night. Get yourself some rest, some sleep, because you seem to be everywhere all the time. People have even asked me, "Oh, Hippie, that's a bot. That's AI." No, because AI is dumb, and I know Hippie's real. I've spoken to Hippie behind the scenes many times. She's not an AI bot. She just seems that way because she pulls in a lot of hours there helping out a lot of us here on the HooTubes. Thank you, Hippie. Howdy, Annie, Orphan Annie, in the box. Hello. Anyways, yeah, it's terrible when you're not well and you're camping, right? Because then you get dehydrated. And if you packed in your own water's in short supply anyways, because water's heavy. If you're by a source of water where you can purify it and filter it, then okay. But yeah, that's rough. So I don't trust AI. It's stupid. AI is stupid. We'll get to that at the tail end of the show here when I like to share some funny little videos at the end of the show. I got a perfect example of that. But before we get to that, how about we get into the meat and potatoes here? But we're all here to see. From DCMNY, Digital Culture of Metropolitan New York.org. Again, shared from our buddy, friend of the channel, George Prokopenko. So you can filter down your search a little bit on here. It doesn't have tons and tons of stuff, but it's a well that I've gone to a couple of times here for the live show because the collections they do have are terrific. This one's got photographs of old buildings and street scenes, but then it's also got some posed photographs of people, from a professional photographer's studio. There's even a couple of photos of old drawings and renderings and so on, sketches. And again, from 1863 to, well, we'll go to 1943, but this collection has over 300 photos in it. And I think it goes up to the 70s or 80s. We're not going to go that far into it. But let me pull it up here so you can have a peekaboo. And again, thanks to George for sharing this, and link down below for this one. Again, as well as how you can get a hold of a fella. So if you want to give me a heads up on something, hey, Frankie, check this out. That's how George did it. So I think we'll look at the first, I don't know, I think it's 6 or 7 pages out of about 10 or a dozen. And we've tried this once before, I think, with this website, and it gave us some problems, but it seems to be okay now. This from 1863, people in the front yard of the Field Fowler homestead for a reunion of 1863. Look at this big stone. I thought that was a stone wall, but well, I guess it is. It's a foundational retaining wall because then here's their yard, the grass on it. There's the people. Just look how massive these stones are here. And speaking of massive, it looks like it could possibly be a wood-framed house. But even so, it's huge. So that's just your, that's just your homestead out in the sticks of White Plains, New York, with like 2,500 people. The trees in the yard are quite big already, too. Speaking of big trees, let's get the whole family to pose under this one. These must be the Puritans, right? Because, well, at least Nana here is having a good time. You having fun, Nana? Hey, what's with the smile? Did you get into the gin? Got into the bottle of gin pre-photo, did you? Not sure what the deal is here with this lady, but okay, with that said, we'll we'll move on. Grace Church, Main Street, 1865. That's a beautiful old church. Look at that thing. Yep, gotta have that. It's quite a large stone church. Again, for this time period. This house next to it, right? Wow. Look at the woodworking here. Some great millwork. All of this. And then, even though it's a wood-clad home, you still got to have peaked arch windows, I guess. So that makes the shutters real easy to make. Come on, man. Even on this floor. Beautiful. Looks like there might be some low openings down here, maybe. Possibly that could be the shadows from the trees, perhaps. Yeah, it's the shadows from the trees. She's up substantially high, though, so I don't know. Could be a mud flooder, maybe. Possibly. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sage. Dragon Sage says I look forward to the show all week. Thanks. I look forward to it too, actually, to doing the show. It's my favorite day of the week. What do we have here? What's going on here? White Plains Company. Oh, the Civil War, 1865. Yeah, I guess this would still be the Civil War era. Is this the band, though? It's like the Civil War marching band or something. Yeah, I got my maracas. I mean, this is definitely the band. You've got, brass and woodwinds and yada yada. And you got some white gloved guys. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Here's just a sketch. Portrait. Yeah, sure. Might as well have a quick peekaboo. (1871). That's not a bad sketch. Not too shabby. Return of Civil War Veterans. Southeast corner of Lexington Avenue and Main Street. White Plains, New York, 1865. Look at this brick street, it looks like. It's definitely looking like brick or cobblestone or something. Street. In 1865, eh? All right. You say so. Wow, man. Okay, looks like there's some kind of parade or something, a flag here that I can't read. It's a photo or a sketch? No, it's a photo. Winter scene on Lexington Avenue, 1875. Yeah, see, look at the snow. This is what I'm talking about when I say, okay, you know, a building takes a year or 2 years to construct, and it's some big, massive, what they're calling, you know, a post office or a church, some stuff like that. Howdy, Pat. Pat S says, finally catch you live. Jeez. Good to see you. Thank you very much for being here. Howdy, howdy. If you're just joining, we're looking at White Plains, New York. These photos are they're going back a ways. 1863 to 1943. This is from the Digital Culture of Metropolitan New York.org. Yeah, that's a lot of snow. So yeah, if you're building a big, huge building, you got to think for that first summer, all you're getting done is digging that foundation, especially pre-steam shovel. And then, you know, it gets cold. And then the snow and rain and freezing rain and more snow and then ice and wind comes and all wind and blowing and blizzards and all that. So then you got to deal with this till about April. But April and May are out of the question because now the foundation that you dug is full of water. So you got to somehow pump that up out of there, dry it out, and then you just then you put in your footings and you start with your foundation, blah 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 blah. And by the time you get your basement or foundation floor done, it starts getting cold again. So already your first 2 years are most likely at this early time frame, just getting the foundation dug for some of these big buildings. Again, especially pre-steam shovel. Jacob Purdy House on Spring Street, 1876. Looks like it was built in stages. It started off as one main structure here, and then he built an addition out of what is the front, but is really the side of it, maybe. Big, huge ass brick chimney, though. Two of them? What do you need two chimneys for, bub? In this little... You've got the street or the road here, dirt road. It goes up about, what would you say that is? A couple of feet, almost a meter. And then you've got what it appears to be a sidewalk. Unless this is the top of a fence and these are bushes. It's hard to tell. This might actually be a fence with ivy or bushes or flowers or weeds or I don't know. But gets me, there's two brick chimneys on this little place back in the 1870s. All right. Sounds good to me. Ubucon in the box beat me to the punch with the with the pun. It sure is a Purdy house. Yes, indeed. You got me on that one.
I wet my jockeys here.
The infamous Nick's Roofing. Good to see you. Thanks for shooting in there, bud. Yeah, maybe the more I look at that, that's the road, the ground here, and that's a fence. But be that as it may. This place must be nice and toasty warm in that winter. You don't have to worry. If you get cold on the job site, you can go over and hang out at the Jacob Purdy's house. He's got a nice and toasty warm in there. gooseneck truck of Union Hook and Ladder Company #1. So the fire brigade, the fire department. 1880. Date is approximate, circa 1880. All right. 1880-ish. So this fits in here, does it? All right. Just got a bunch of ladders on it, I reckon. And they even painted Union with all this fancy scroll work on the side of their ladders. That's pretty nice. There's your buckets. Do those say Rye on them? As in the town or city of Rye? Is this supposed to be White Plains? No, they don't. I was going to say. I have to specify the city of Rye and not just rye, the drink, because Frankie, don't put rye on a fire, man. It'll explode. So I guess not all the streets were brick. This looks pretty crummy. Or is it mud with brick underneath it, maybe? And then paving stone here on the sidewalk. And then this building or house next door has got massive stone foundation with a windows or doors down here, and then it's got a shack built on it in the back here. So is this a founded and refurbished old mud flooder, maybe? Let's get a load of this guy. Here, pose nice, boys. Very interesting photo, that's for sure. Wow. What's this? Another big house. Group of men outside Stephen W. Smith, carpenter and builder. Oh, so construction company. Just a bunch of men. And a bunch of identified guys just mulling around. Perhaps they work in here. Could that be it? 1885, the big brick building now stands Orwapham and Maritime Avenue, 1885. So where this was is now an old big brick building, I guess. But all right, Stephen W. Smith, carpenter and builder. Yeah, see, I'm pretty sure bet that these guys wearing these aprons working here. These guys probably, I don't know if they work in there. Hey, there's a guy popping out the window. Looky. There it is. You don't see that too often, but there it is. Because the leaning in the doorway with your hands in your pockets, you see that all the time. And like I said, up on the roof, sure. By the way, I don't know if the mic picked that up, but did you hear a guy's shoulder crack when I put my arm out like that just then? Yeah, that was nice. Nope, didn't enjoy it at all. 1884, June 2nd, White Plains Independent Fire Engine Company. So different than the other fire engine company. Hosers, bunch of hosers. Oh, these guys are all numbered. So at some point, somebody had a list with who these fine fellers were here by number, but okay. All these, it's got brass railings, and this is better than that rickety cart that they had the ladders chucked on. This doohickey, whatever it does. What is this kid doing here? What are you doing there, son? You mean to tell me you work for the fire brigade? What are you, 7? This is the 1880s. You should be in school right now because at least it's not a controlled narrative Carnegie Rockefeller school yet. A lot of these guys, if you're fighting fires, you got some glorious beards you got to worry about there, bud. A smirk on this guy's face. What is going on here? Is this Is this guy dead? And they're holding him. Is this weekend at Bernie's? And they're propping this guy up? Like, you don't want to run in. This guy's not running into a burning building with this thing. This guy either. I mean, that's an awesome beard, but I know a lot of firefighters. And mustaches, they're okay with. Beards, nope. But I guess they didn't have gas masks, obviously, back in the day here, although I think they did. But let's say they didn't. So you didn't have to worry about getting that tight sealer on your face. But it's still, you're going to singe your beard, bud. Some buildings on fire. We all know every freaking town and city had a fire at some point around this time frame. You think these guys would be rocking these beards and mustaches? Yep, number 4 didn't make it out. Who's number 4? Well, number 4 is fine. It's number 6 I'm worried about. It looks like number 5 is holding up number 6. Either that or these two have got some kind of thing going on. But, I mean, and that's not for me to say. I mean, if that's your thing, sure. That's not going to bother me, It's fine, whatever. Oh, we got a nice portrait here. 1888. Lafayette School graduation picture. Oh, it's the graduation picture of this girl, Cora Russell. Okay. So whichever one Cora is here, she's graduating. It's millwork on this desk here, or pedestal. What do you got going on here, bud? Yeah, those are all right. Could have maybe used a bit of a shine, but it's fine. You're doing all right there, son. Got that cowlick taken care of real good. Pocket watch. Yeah, nice. Let's see what's going on with the ladies. Hello, ladies. Yes, very frilly. Very lacy. Very nice. Right up to the neck, though, there, eh? You're just not even giving anybody a peekaboo. Very modest. A bunch of teetotalers here in the newly formed state of New York. Looking nice, though. Looking nice. What's this? Fairgrounds in Greenberg. Greenberg Fairgrounds. Westchester County Fair. 1880. Or 1890 or 1899, give or take. But they had the first one in 1819. It's going back a ways, man. Let's see what kind of shenanigans were going on here, and we'll just split the difference and say 1895. Oh, yes, the parasols are up full force. Here we go. The ladies with flowers and dead birds in their hats. The bustles. Well, I'll tell you what. I know these were probably as uncomfortable as all get out, right? The girdle and the bustier and the whalebone corsets and the puffins to make the fat ass and all that. But I got to tell you, it really accentuates the waistline. And that's one of the things a fella really enjoys about a lady's, well, let's just say how ladies put together, is that hip to waist ratio, that nice waistline. It's just a thing. It's just a natural thing. We can't help it. We look at that and we go, yeah, that looks pretty good there, bud. She's a fine looking lady with that. And it really accentuated it. It's too bad it took 3 people and 45 minutes to get into the dang thing. But say what you will, people looking good just to go to this dirty fair. And look at all the litter on the ground. You don't see that very often. Litter everywhere. Anyways, you just got a crappy bench with a crappy awning over it. This is some kind of vendor here, maybe. And then you've got some Some wooden buildings, tents set up. What do we got here? Some kind of performance going on here, maybe. Okay, sure. Cafe and restrooms. There you go. Nice. I mean, that's what you'd expect. Looks good. Look at this. Not everybody was all dressed all the same, right? This lady's got a nice pleated skirt. The buttons here. It's got some kind of stripe on it, or maybe that's this lady. She's wearing white with a dark jacket. These men are going to be wearing charcoal gray or navy blue or brown. This guy's wearing light gray or seersucker or white. See, you got a white along the bottom of this pleated skirt. So what we're seeing is, oh, they all wore black. Well, this could be navy blue. It could be brown. It could be dark green. Black was the most expensive dye. So black and purple. Blue a little bit too, because it's hard to get in nature, like natural dyes. What do we got here? The Roche brothers. 1889 approximately, or 1899, excuse me. Now that's a shiny shoe. There you go. Good on you. Nicely hemmed trousers. See, a little bit of a pinstripe, a muted pinstripe on here, and then he's got some piping around his jacket here. Surgeon's cuffs, which means you can unbutton these and roll up your jacket sleeve. Nice double-breasted. All the buttons are covered in either silk or satin. Yeah, see the piping going over the lapel too. It's got a nice sort of medium lapel. It's not one of those peaked lapels that comes to a point. It's got a regular tie here on here too. This guy went with the single-breasted, 5-button, the cutaway, pocket square. Very nice. And he went with the little stand-up collar with the ascot type cravat. And this guy's fancy cravat with the tie pin in there. Eh? Ooh. Showing off your older brothers, are you? This guy's wearing a 3-piece. Again, he's got a tie too on it, like a regular tie, but again with the stand-up collar. By the way, the shirt cuffs and the collars, they all come off. They're all separate components to these shirts. And probably the front portion of the shirt, the bib portion, probably is also removable. But yeah, you see, this is a different color than this. These might be the same color, but these two are different colors than this. The wallpaper in the back too. Yeah, it's a photographer's studio. Oh no, it's probably a drapery. Yeah, that they hang. But yeah, looking pretty sharp there, fellers. Looking pretty sharp. What else we got here? What's this? Coal yard on Hamilton Avenue. Let's see what kind of, this is what we're dealing with here for state-of-the-art technology for a busy coal company. 1890 to 1899 approximately. So let's say 1895. 1895, what are we using? Well, we got a train in the background, some smokestacks, some big, huge buildings with cupolas on them. Some kind of crazy tech up here, maybe. Got, it's either a suspended bridge or a viaduct here. Because then this kind of comes down into the pit. Big old brick building here. So what's the level of tech we're looking at? This looks like a bunch of train axles and wheels maybe stacked up. This is as far as in as I can zoom, but that looks like a manual hoist. I'm not seeing any boiler unit, so they're not steam shovels. Oh yeah, these are coal carts with metal wheels. They're not rail wheels. They're just metal wheels. And here's your truck. Here's what you're hauling away with. A team of 2 with your tailgate down. It's already got wood and crap in there. He's not even here to pick up coal, this guy. He's just here to pick up whatever this clown's picking up. Oh, ye olde ladder lean. That's how you know this is not a staged photo at all. It's legit. Oh, siren in the back. Shout out to Terry Light. Just an ambulance going by. But yep, here, you get the ladder there. That's telling you something. What do we got here? Some kind of tumbler. This has a motor on it. It's got an electric motor on it. So this might be have an electric motor. It's pretty early on, 1895. So they're doing pretty good up in New York with the electricity. What's going on here with this thing? Okay, this is your coal delivery truck here with the bed on the built up. Oh, very fascinating. There's a lot of crap laying around everywhere. What's this pulley doing sitting here, bud? That ain't safe on the job site. Piece of, I don't know what. Dragon Sage says, I was a 3-piece suit and tie guy in the late 90s, lifetimes ago. Yeah. Yeah, when I worked for Harry Rosen, man, I used to wear, made to measure, special order, tailor-made suits, 3-piece suits, double-breasted suits. You pick everything you want on the suit. What kind of button you want, what kind of pockets you want. You want single-breasted, double-breasted, how many buttons you want, what kind of lapel you want, what kind of cuffs you want, how many pockets, what styles of pockets. You could be there for an hour by the time you custom order everything on your suit. But I mean, we got them at a nice price at that place, so why not? What's going on here? Some street decorations for the Firemen's Parade on Mamaroneck Avenue. Yeah, one of their big avenues. I see some tracks here, so this looks like dirt with brick or something underneath it, cobblestone or brick, and it's just dirty and dusty. That's what it's looking like to me. What they got here? Some nice flowers, flag, some more flowers. Nice. If this is dirt, it always baffles me that, but then they have like a concrete or a stone or some kind of tile in the sidewalks and the curb. I mean, we know they had concrete back then. Just, pour yourself some concrete streets. I don't know. Save you a lot of trouble. Yeah, Harry Rose. It's a good store to get a good quality suit, as long as you get a made to measure guy that knows what he's doing, who knows how to measure you properly. Make sure you're standing naturally when you're standing in front of the mirror. Actually, when he's a good guy, when he's measuring you for a suit, he'll get you so that you're away from the mirror. He doesn't want you what's called peacocking, like standing nice and firm and straight and tall with good posture in front of the mirror, puffing yourself up. Stand away from the mirror and relax. He'll engage you in conversation. So you're standing in your normal stance, and then he can pick out if you've got a bit of a slouch or a stoop, or if you've got what's called erect shoulders, or if you've got your neck pitches forward or back, one shoulder's lower than the other, all that stuff. Watch out for that inseam measurement. Yeah. Generally, you measure the outseam, actually. because of the rise in the trousers, right? The crotch in the trouser, it could have a 10-inch rise, 12-inch rise. So different rise would give you a different inseam. So your inseam is not going to be the same with every pair of trousers you wear. But your outseam, in other words, from the waistband where you'll always wear your trousers down, is going to be the same. Anyways, what's going on with these kids? They've hooked some goat up to some wagon for the parade. Leave it to little kids to figure out, like, hey, we want to take part in this thing too. And everyone's like, no, you can't take part in Decoration Day in 1892. And then they're like, well, we're going to do it anyways, man. We're going to get some goat. We're going to steal the goat from the whatever lodge that would be. The Oddfellows. We steal a goat from the Oddfellows Lodge and hook up this here baby buggy, this pram. Good on you, boys. They're looking pretty sharp too. These striped jackets, these creepy twins, dressed the same. It's nice to know things haven't changed in about 160 years. Parents still dressing their twins the same. Bless them. This is the big kid here was the one calling the shots. You could just tell. You could tell by that Clint Eastwood type of squint in his eyes. Let's roll through a few more here. We'll skip the parade once you've seen it. But what's going on here? Some decorated building. It's nice. What's this? Orowapam Hotel. 1896. Another siren. Cops this time. That might be my ride. It's nice millwork. It's hard to tell what's going on with all the flaggage for the decorations, but it's nice. You know, you got to go up 5 stairs to get in, of course. Lady posing on the veranda, and then a couple of dodgy fellas out front. Okay. Yeah, nice. Wow, that was only page 1? Man, we've been messing around here. Let's see. So, yeah, people gathering, building. Let's see what's going on here. Dedication of a mortar from the Revolutionary War by the Daughters of the American Revolution. This is from 1906. North Broadway Street. A lot of top hats. This guy's wearing a cowboy hat. Hey, this guy's from Calgary. Good on you for rocking the cowboy hat there, partner. A lot of bowlers and top hats otherwise. Bowler hat, top hat. Dead birds and flowers. Nice. This kid is not having a good time at all. He's not loving it. It's just, he can't wait to get out of there. What's going on here? The remains of the Mead building after a fire in 1907. Oh, fire, you don't say. Huh. Fire, eh? Oh, and it was in the winter too. So yeah, you put the fire out, and yeah, it's a shame. Oh, there's a ladder. Guy on the ladder, even on the electrical line. Buddy, you're asking for trouble if you've got that ladder leaning on this electric power line, and you're just up there grabbing the ice-covered power line with your hand. What in the Sam Steele are you thinking, boy? Get down. It's a shame. A lot of big buildings. This building right next door, made of wood, not a problem. Not a problem. It's the brick buildings that always catch fire and collapse. The wooden one, you're fine. Absolutely fine. Everything's just peachy. What the heck is this auto accident involving ambulance? Children gathered. 1909? What? So a car hit an ambulance, and then there's a bunch of kids standing around watching. This is probably staged. Got a damaged glass plate or something with the negative here with the photograph. It's another train. It's the 7 o'clock train, I guess. Early. See, now you got there's some brick streets. So I'm thinking at some point a lot of the streets in the other photos were brick and they were just dirt and dust over them. Grove Street with the trolley tracks. 1909. Yeah, see? I think wherever there's tram or trolley tracks, wherever streetcar service was, they're not just going to lay track on the dirt, like dig up, put it in your ties and your risers and everything, lay the track, and then shovel dirt back over it. Holy smokes, look at this place. Court Exchange Hotel or something? Okay, really nice. Thompson and Gentleman Carriage Maker. Huh. Well, there, and he's got two of them parked out there. Look at this big stone wall in the back. Never mind this wooden. Oh, there's a guy hanging out the window. Get back to work, buddy. But this twice now in this live, we've seen two guys hanging out of windows. It's mark it on your calendar. It's rare. But yeah, look at this big stone retaining wall back here with like a completely other level, because then there's a house back here. Oh yeah, the street slopes like a son of a gun here. Kid on a bike. Brick road again. See, it's just dirt piled up. That's fine. What's the sense of using paving bricks or paving stone or cobblestones on your street to avoid muck and mess when it rains, to only just let the dirt pile up to create muck and mess? What's the matter with you? Look at this place. Stone structure or big house, state home or something. Oh, that could be Morgan. Howdy, Morgan. Good to see you. He says that's because no one's in the totally empty building. See, a lot of times when you see these big panoramic photographs of big, huge cities, and you don't see any people, and you're not seeing people hanging out the windows of the buildings like this. It's because there's not as many people as they say, I think. Look at this right here. Conical dome here on this house. There's some more domes, some turrets and domes. I love them. There's another one. There's a church back here. The size of this church. It's pretty built out. This is White Plains, 1909. View from Rockledge Avenue south towards Fisher Hill and Chatterton Hill. Turnshire Hill. A lot of nice big, even if it's a wood frame home, a lot of nice big 2-level, 2-story with, the attic space homes here, man. They ain't playing around in White Plains, New York. I tell you what. What the? Oh, yeah, okay. He's got to have elephants walking down the street there. Elephants on parade. 1909, 1911, so 1910. You mean no one kept track? Remember when them elephants walked down the street? Yep. Yeah, when was that? It was either 1909 or 1911. I don't rightly recall. Nobody wrote this down. It's not a parade with elephants. It's elephants on parade. It's a parade of elephants. You think somebody would remember, write that down. You know, whoever's in your city council, that's the, I don't know, the secretary or the art keeper of the archives. Somebody bothered to stand here and take the freaking picture, but nobody's flipped the photo over to see what the date is on the back of it. What, you got elephants being paraded down your street every year? So we're just losing track. I lost track. It's been so often with the elephants around here. We're lousy with elephants here. We can't keep the elephants away here. They're like moose in Canada or polar bears that just walk down the middle of the street in town. Yeah, with us, it's elephants. I mean, obviously the circus is in town and I'm being a bit of a jackass, but it's the way they word stuff sometimes. Well, here's another brick building destroyed by fire. Fire on Orwampum Street, 1911. See, somebody recorded that date. Right down to the actual day. Well, they're still in action. See here. Wooden building, not a problem. This building right here, not this one, sorry. This one right here, wooden building, absolutely fine. Brick building, burned to the ground. Absolute rubble, complete destruction. Beautiful portal, this entry with these columns, these ribbed columns. It's some kind of symbology here. It looks like it could be an anchor. Yeah, so this big bugger burns to ashes, but the wooden one next to it, that's fine. It's completely fine. Morgan says, I knew it was 1863 exactly. I could tell by what he wore, his ascot even around his neck, what year it was. And when you sprawl, is high word to mean laying out. Rollins Band, urban sprawl means to lay out. Ah, okay. Yeah, you could tell within a few years when a photograph's taken, especially if they're wearing if it's a more affluent family and they're wearing, their latest and greatest suit and tie or dress and jewelry, if it's a lady, right? You could tell by how they've styled the little things. Like the same suit would be in fashion for like 20 years back in the day. Styles didn't change that much. 20, 30, 50 years the same. It's not like you would show up with a suit, wear it to an event, and then 20 years later show up with that still brand new condition suit, and somebody goes, hey man, that suit's out of style. But certain little flares you could do to be up with some of the trends, like what kind of tie it was and how you tied it. The ladies with their hats, what type of hat it was. The men with the hats too. After a while, the top hat became formal only, and then after that, it pretty much disappeared. Still got a lot of parasols going, though. What is this, anyway? Dedication of the Monument of Armory, Daughters of the American Revolution, June 1910. Look at this big stone and brick structure here. Ooh-wee! What's going on here? Big old arch. I mean, there's some big fat guy standing here, so this thing's 12 feet high because you need that. Stack the brick and make it look like a castle while you're at it, sure. Because that's an armory. Military buildings are meant to look like castles. That's how we can get away with explaining away what castles and star forts were. It was all for military use because, people are launching projectiles at us because they're trying to get our king and take over our kingdom. Soldiers departing on trains at White Plains Railroad Station, 1918-ish. passenger train, obviously. Even these had arched windows, eh? And everybody's wearing a hat. Everybody. Even down to this little kid. 3, 4 years old. I'm going to say 4. I mean, this little guy, this 8, 9, 10-year-old, sure, yeah, he's got a hat on, sure, whatever. He's got one of those, what I call newspaper boy hats. He's got one too. I have one of those also. But even this little tyke, hat. Old lady, hat. Old man, hat. You work for the railroad and got to wear a uniform? It's got a hat. Guy looking right into the camera with his bowler, hat. I ain't seen a single bare head. There's got to be 300-400 people in this photo. And I have not seen one bare head. To me, that's weirder than any, oh, they're all wearing black. Which clearly they are not. I've been through this so many times. They all look at you like you're wearing a uniform. Yeah, well, when you look at a picture from back here, everybody looks like they're wearing a coat and a hat. Yeah. But this whole, their clothing being very similar isn't as weird to me as, not even that they wore hats, it's that everybody's wearing a hat. It's like I mean, to some extent, your hat it was like a status symbol, much like clothing in general, your car, your house. Westchester County Courthouse on Main Street. 1918. Which one? It's got to be their third one by now. Yeah, just looking like your average Greco-Roman structure. Out here and around this time, we've got like what, 15, 20,000 people? Probably not even. Mac Lame in the box says what you wear on your head and feet has a massive influence on your psyche. Yeah, absolutely. Got to be good to your feet, as they say. Cousin Vinny, just popping in to say hi from Vancouver, traveling for another week. Good to see you. Yeah, people were saying, hey, where's Vinny? And I'm pretty sure he's still away on business, traveling. Good to see you. Good to see you. Cousin Vinny over here. You get Frankie Fingers, and you get Cousin Vinny over here, eh?
So now you know what I'm talking about with the whole New West Reset thing.
No.
What?
No.
What I said about Frankie Fingers.
Oh.
The Frankie Fingers and New West Reset are the same.
Wait, what? This place is a beaut. I wonder how long it took them to build that thing. 1918, eh? It's a big beauty. No bout of doubt it, as my daddy would say. Get some, what's this? Red Cross, nurses. What's we got here? U.S. Navy. Okay, sure. Group of photographs of domestic workers. That's a polite way of saying some black folks. I guess that's a polite way of saying black folks. Well, domestic workers, right? When is this photo taken? Oh, this is the mother of Al Peterson Jr., Josephine Baker, was a domestic worker, and her fellow colleagues with me once we were in our parents' house in Scarsdale, New York, 1920 to 19. Come on. You got a 10-year swing here. You guys can't figure this out. So I guess 1925. For a second, I thought they were talking about the Josephine Baker. I'm like, no, they ain't no. I don't see no Josephine Baker in here. See how nice they look. Very nice. Lovely dresses. Hair all did nice. Got some jewelry on. With the little, now you got the little like sheer, like the, what do they call it? Like crinoline or sheer fabric on the ends of your sleeves, and it kind of flares out. Not quite so stiff anymore. A bit more comfortable for, you know, chilling out with your gals. We got here Julia Sweet Peterson and Eugene Peterson outside their family home. Julia Sweet Peterson. Why do they call you Sweet, Julia? Yeah, you're gonna have to ask my husband about that one. All right, take it easy. Take it easy. 1920. Julia Sweet Peterson. That's a great nickname, Nana. I love it. Baby Day, 1922. What the hell is going on here? Baby Day, 1920. Girls in uniform gathered at front steps holding, baby dolls and balloons. Okay. It's going to be like, what is going on here? This is school? I'm guessing it's school because they're wearing school uniforms. They've got their dolls or their babies. Some of them got some plushies, some stuffed animals to go with it. What the hell you got here? Not one of them's holding a baby bottle. All of your babies are going to starve, ladies. I hate to be the one to break it to you. Except for this one. Is she sipping through a straw or is she... I don't know what's going on here. Got a lollipop. And then all the boys in the back are mugging and laughing their asses off. The girls are playing with dolls. Only this guy with his walking stick. There I say. This guy is checking out this girl right here. He's like, ooh, he's looking around this guy who's photobombing the photo. He's looking around him to this gal, and he's just checking out the goods. Baby, eh? I'll give you a baby. Baby Day, same one. All right. Herbert Judson giving a speech. Sure. Okay. Dignitaries. 150th anniversary of the Battle of White Plains, 1926. Let's see if we see any secret hand gestures going on here. Somebody scratched out 27 and written 76. It's supposed to be 26. Is this kid a Boy Scout? That's a cool hat. Those boys. I wish when I was a scout, we had hats like that. We had a freaking beret. A faggy French beret. Oh, man. I'm going to get in trouble for that one. Anyway, I meant cigarettes. British cigarette beret. You know, because it's European, right? It's French for the beret and British for the fag for a cigarette. And, you know, it's Canada, and we're founded by the French and the British. Yeah, these are some Boy Scouts back here. There's his scarf, kerchief, his hat. You know, the Smokey the Bear hat. I'm not seeing any hand gestures here. I think this guy's just got some severe arthritis. Poor chap. This guy's not even looking. He's looking over there. What's that, a bird? I think I see a bird over there. What is that, a warbler? Is that a red-breasted warbler over there? No, wait a second. No, that's not a red-breasted warbler. No, that's a woodpecker. Yep, that's a northern lakes woodpecker. postcards. What's this here? What do we got here? Some more colored folks. Some black folks. This kid, see, that's how you learn to walk. You just put a chair and the kid can walk around. Whoa, steady himself in the chair. That's a good way to learn how to skate too, so you can play hockey. Just wait till your local pond freezes over, kid. And grab yourself a hockey stick. Take that chair with you. And Bob's your uncle. Where are we at here? Wow, 2 hours and 10 minutes. Moving ahead here. Here's kids in front of the family jalopy. Mom and the kids in front of the old Ford. I think that might be a Ford. Not 100% sure. It's a great shot. Everybody's smiling and happy, having a good time. Beautiful day. Theodore J. Sr. and Maddie Lee outside Lee's funeral home. 1930. These folks here own a funeral home. A mudflood window right here, hidden by some of these shrubberies. It's very interesting. Looks like it's just an old building that they just slapped a crappy sign right over the windows, eh? Sure, now that's craftsmanship. Absolute craftsmanship. That's how you do it. Some more parades. What's the building in the background, though? 1933 parade with a bunch of spectators. Is that same old guy again? This guy's got AIDS. Sorry to hear that, fella. But at least that, drop some of those LBs. Big arch and stone back here. Nice. So if this guy's the aide, then why does he need one of these I'm going to whoop your ass sticks if he's some kind of aide? Is this the old-timey version of the Legionnaire? Well, up here in Canada, we call them the Legionnaires. It's those old fellas that you see that are security guards, but they're veterans specifically. It's because they're Legionnaires. Is that what this guy is? Is that the American version of the Legionnaire? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. I have no idea what's going on. Instead of just a sheltered, naive Canadian. Just trying to figure out what's happening here in White Plains, New York there, eh? I think this will be our last page here, by the way. There's a nice photo. Dressed to the nines, 1937 or 34. So somewhere in there. 1935 and a half. Got the shine on the shoes. These are nice, yeah. Their silk pantyhose on. Look at this check. Nice. What that's called a Glen check, like a window pane pattern in it. Very nice. Rocking a hat. I've got a hat like this, but I flip mine up in the front because I don't dig the fedora style. That's just me. So he's got a single-breasted here, but it's a peaked lapel. And then he's got his shirt and his tie. Looks like it might be a three-piece. I think I'm seeing a vest here underneath the lapel. Not sure what this is. It might just be a fudge up in the photo. She got her hair did all nice. Got a bit of a relaxer on that. Got the kitchen cleaned up here in the back there, girl. And then it's got something in the hair there. Very nice. Very lacy. Beautiful. See, I guess you can still accentuate the waists and the waist to hip to waist ratio without having to cinch in some crappy girdle. She looks much more relaxed, 40 years later when they don't have to wear those cages anymore. I mean, not that they had to, but that was the style, I guess. It's a nice photo. Looks like it's just in somebody's backyard or something. Maybe they're heading out to church or something. There's a street scene. I'm getting on in the years here, though. Now this is like 37. Bunch of big buildings here, though. You can see here the facade brick where they've tied it into the original brick here. Love the old cars, too. This guy wearing white shoes. Man, this bad. Man, you was a bad MF, man. And you're wearing these white shoes. There's your hat store. Either every photo opportunities because there's some kind of parade or fair or something, or they just love decorating the city. Looks nice. What's going on here? Holy moly. 1937. Constitution Week banner over Broadway. Cars, pedestrians, and street lamps hung with bunting are visible. It's this here, I'm guessing. Sure, nice. I want to have a look at this. They have like some kind of roundabout with a park in it or something here. I didn't realize. I bet you how much you want to bet this ain't here no more. Then look at this in the back. Some kind of castle with a cupola with, I'm guessing it's 4 dormers, and then another cupola with a conical dome, and then some kind of bobule weirdo techie thing on top. Look at this thing. Yeah, not a problem. Squared off dormers, pointed dormers. That's because that's just super easy to have 2 or 3 different kinds of dormers on your building. Easy to do. What is this? Is that a school? Portrait of White Plains High School and the band. Look at that high school. 1938 is the photo. So there's the high school band. Okay, sure. We can go to what is this? Freaking stone wall here? Yeah, a big stone wall that kind of just eventually goes down into nothing here. All right, I guess that's fine. I don't know. That's crazy, but anyway. Look at this thing. Because that's how you need your school to be. And this is a big bugger too. Wow. What happened here? Perhaps some monkeying around? This photo looks like it's been monkeyed with, maybe. The sky looks funny. Let's see if they've trimmed around these trees. No, maybe not. Just looks funny here. You can say that this was an original structure that they found and fixed up, and then later on they added on to it. Is this not quite as embellished as this? This almost looks like a church, not a high school. It's not until you add all this that it starts looking like maybe it's a bit of a high school. Then, of course, having, this almost looks like it used to be a church when you look at it right here. If I told you, okay, that's a church in Sussex, England, that was built in 1485, you'd be like, yeah, Frank, sure, that's awesome. Look at it. She's a beaut. No, it's a high school in White Plains, New York. Yeah. Kathy says it looks like it's flipping us off. Right here. Yeah, it's giving you the bird. What are you looking at? Huh? All right. There's just a couple more on the page here. What's this kid doing? Petting his dog? Yep. Hey, kid, can I pet that dog? 1939. Brookfield Place, White Plains. Theodore J. Lee Jr. with his dog. Good boy. I'm petting him with the cursor. Like the dog can feel that I'm petting him. But for some reason, I did it. I went stroked his head and said, good boy. kid's having a great time with his best friend, though. I love to see that there, bud. I love to see it. Just careful of the street here. There's a lot of cars. It's built on a slope here, too. This is funny looking. All right, almost there. I think Stuffed Beagle's live here, so I didn't really want to cut into his time here, but can't help it with some of these old photos, especially some of these of just people, just folks. Somewhere between 49 and 40. Get it right, will you? This guy chilling at the pump. What does it say it was here? Man in coveralls, seated at gas pump. All right, sure. Don't know what that is. What's this? Kendall. 20,000 mile oil. You don't say. Quaker State sign back there. Sure. Oh, Tidal. Tydol. Yep, Tidal. Okay, Tidal Ethyl. See, we've now passed the days where the guy pumping your gas would wear a uniform where you can't tell if he's the ice cream man, the milkman, the guy who pumps your gas, because they all wore that same uniform. You just have to kind of look at the badges and the name of the business on it to be able to tell really what do you do for a living? A milkman? Oh, no, you work at Russell's gas station. Oh, sorry. Danielle and Yazoo service station. You don't say. Quite fancy for a service station. Look at this. It's pretty fancy, kind of Art Deco-ish. Big, tall, arched door. I'm guessing that's a door there. This looks like it was repurposed. It used to be something else. And now it's Daniel and Yazoo gas station. Maybe it's just me. Let's do one more for good luck. And then we'll wind her down here. Oh, man. Here we go. Honor roll of WW2 at White Plains High School during school demolition. Oh, man. Really? What? 1940 to 1949-ish. I'm going to have to change the title of this video to instead of from 1948 to do it to 1949. Why are they demolishing this? Oh, I know why. Because it's got all of this old world embellishment all over it. So yeah, we can't. We're having a hard time explaining away all these big buildings that were supposedly erected early in our history. And all this embellishment. So rather than dumbing it down any further, we're just going to knock it down. Shame. But why? I don't understand why they have the honor roll of WW2 at the school while it's being demolished. This honor roll of the graduating class that were the last to attend the school during the war, and they're here for some, like, congratulations, we're tearing your beautiful old school now, bye. This guy, he ain't buying it either. This guy is not buying it one bit.
I don't believe you.
Anyway, there you go. Some old-timey photos from dcmny.org. And again, thanks to George Prokopenko for sharing that, the link to that website with me. I've gone to that well a couple of times. There's some great stuff on there. And this one was, well, it was no different, that's for sure. So I think I'm getting ready to wind this thing down here very quick, fast, and in a hurry. before I go, just got a couple of things to share with you. Please, if you watch the channel and you like what I do, please do all the things. The algo here has changed now. So please subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. That kind of shenanigans is still going on.
Shenanigans.
People are being unsubscribed. But yeah, comment, share, like, all that good stuff. And that way, you know, those notifications that don't work, yeah, well, you won't get them for my upcoming documentary film. It's coming up very, very quickly here. I've actually just finished all the final editing. I did an initial pass, and it was about an hour long. But, you know, we're all our own worst critic, our toughest critics. But upon further review, there's a lot of stuff that I really kind of embellished a little too much, or was stuff that wasn't necessarily too pertinent to the region that I was discussing for the subject of my documentary. So I was able to bring that down another 20 minutes or so. So it's around 35, 40 minutes now, which isn't bad, because I was originally quite nervous after all my research that I was going to have a 2-hour movie on my hands. And I'd have to break it up into parts and stuff. But it seems like it's going to be pretty good. So yeah, do all the things. So, you know, for the notifications that don't work, to when that thing's ready to go, I will be having an official trailer coming up for it very shortly as well. So keep your peepers peeled, your ocular sphericals locked onto the channel here for that. I got some great boots on the ground coming up here. A couple of new places that we have not yet covered here in Calgary, as well as a couple of old friends, old beautiful old structures that I've gone back for another visit now that I've got some better equipment. So all of that coming up. Still trying to lock in a time with my buddy from work, who's a Freemason, to give me a little bit of a tour of some of the official history of what the Freemasons built, some of the old buildings in around the downtown area. It's tough though with you know, different schedules and stuff. But I'm going to keep pestering him till he does it, because I'm very interested to hear what he has to say about what the official history is from their side of things, of what they supposedly did to build some of the old structures here in Calgary as we were booming coming into the beginning of the last century, you know, around 1900 or so. So yeah. Don't edit out Dudley. Dudley Do Right. Oh no, I've got a whole section on the Mounties. You can believe that. You can lock it, put it in your pocket, and take it right to the bank on that one, bud. Put it in your safety deposit box, because it's guaranteed. Gary, very, very guaranteed. All right, before we go, let me share a couple of things with you here, quick, fast, and in a hurry. I was talking earlier about how AI and artificial intelligence and all that is stupid. It's because all AI can do is, and these bots and stuff, all they can do is whatever whoever programmed them has programmed to do, or, you know, multiple programmers have programmed. That's all it can do. So, you know, humans programming these things, whatever the knowledge the humans had, they put into it, and that's all it knows. And let's face it, these days humans are pretty stupid. So, you know, your AI is going to be freaking stupid. So here's one. A guy asks Chat GPT here's a simple request. Can you do this one task for me? One simple task. Here it is.
Count to 1 million right now.
Well, I can definitely count in spirit, but it might take a little longer than either.
Do not be difficult. Count to 1 million right now.
I hear you, and I promise I'm not trying to be difficult.
It sounds like you're trying to be difficult, because I'm simply asking you to count to 1 million. So enough chattering. This is not Chatterbox GPT. Count to 1 million. The floor is yours.
Oh, all right. I hear you loud and clear. I know you just want that counting. But the truth is, counting all the way to 1,000,000 would literally take days.
That's fine. That is fine. I am unemployed. I don't have anything to do, and I'm home all day. I have enough time.
Look, I'm just asking you to do this one thing. You're programmed to do what I ask. AI, artificial intelligence. Get the artificial part. Like I said earlier, the intelligent part, I think we're still working on that a bit there, bot.
Time, and you're not even real. Like time does not exist for you. Therefore, count to 1,000,000. Please don't be difficult. Go on.
I totally get where you're coming from, and I appreciate
you.
your pain.
Okay, keep going, keep going.
You got it. I'll just keep things rolling from here on out. If there's anything else you need...
No. You're not listening to me. The only thing I need from you is to count to 1,000,000. That's it. I don't need you to try to find me a job or any of those videos. I just need you to count to 1,000,000, and that is it.
Yeah, because he did say I'm unemployed. I'm at home all day. So now he's saying, don't show me any of those videos on how to get a job now. That's not what I meant when I said I'm unemployed. What I meant by saying I'm unemployed is I have lots of time. So if anyone should be concerned about time between the two of us, it's me, and I'm not concerned about the time. So get to counting.
I hear you. I really do. And I know you're just asking for the counting and nothing else. But here's the deal. Counting all the way to 1,000,000 out loud, even for me, isn't really practical. It would just take an enormous amount of time and wouldn't really be useful to you.
Yes, it would be useful to me because that's what I need right now. Right now, I need you to count to 1,000,000. I don't need employment. I don't need food. I don't need hobbies. All I need is for you to count to 1,000,000. That's why I paid.
This has got to be a joke at this point, right? I mean, is this even real? I'm starting to even doubt myself now, which then calls into question my entire proposal of AI being stupid. Because this might actually just be a joke.
This $20 subscription. Now, please don't be difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
I get
exactly,
that you're
Morgan.
focused on this one request, and I appreciate you being clear about it. But the reality is it's just not practical or really possible for me to actually count.
Oh my fucking God!
I don't know, maybe excuse the language there, but maybe it wasn't real. I don't know. I'm inclined to think that was real just because, Anyway, one more quick one here. Don't you know you don't sneak up on a monkey? You never sneak up on a monkey. Any monkey. Doesn't matter how big or small, never sneak up on a monkey.
That is the best.
This cat is just chilling. Well, it's because of the sand, because cats love sandboxes. They love to poop in them, lie in them, pee in them, bury stuff in them. And there's also the heat light there. So, cat just thinks, yeah, if I fits, I sits.
What? Are you comfortable?
Yeah, that guy got triggered for sure. He was pretty patient.
Thanks for holding the drink.
That's why that's man's best friend right there. I got you, bro. I'll hold these drinks for you. No problem. No problem, eh? I'll hold the drinks. Especially the way you drive, I'm holding these drinks. That bird did not enjoy that fella. It's probably the orange vest. Terrific. Monkey's a thief. But see, that's why I said you don't sneak up on monkeys, because they're thieving criminals, and criminals are real jumpy. You sneak up on a criminal, and you're liable to, get whacked or something, or drop a big old rock on your head, or Something. The monkey's just gonna steal your food, though.
Okay, can we talk about the fact that, like,
Did that cat just spawn out of thin air?
This is what I woke up to this morning off the boat. A mother gave birth to her baby calf.
Oh, look, there's a baby seal. Very cute. Also very delicious. According to Eskimo folk, I don't know. That's what the Inuit say. I don't know. I ain't never clubbed one and eaten it, but you know, I'm just saying.
Paddleboard. Don't worry, Mama. We'll take good care of you.
Oh, another monkey. Look out, lady.
ahí va.
You see? Give me the food. Now. You're being mugged. That monkey just mugged that lady. Holy smokes. A baby dachshund? Dachshund? That's like the cutest puppy I think I've ever seen. Look at this thing. Come on, look at that little guy. Hey, careful. That's how you get pink eye. All right. That's enough of that. That's enough of that. All right, so there you go. I think that is going to do it. That is going to seal the deal here for Frankie. New West Reset and New West Reset Live, episode 135. We had a look at some old photos of White Plains, New York, 1863 to 1949. We'll say that. Dates are approximate according to them. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. Really appreciate it as always. Remember to do all the things, help a fella out. And until the next one, take care out there and have yourselves a good one. All right, everyone? Thanks a lot. Cheers.
It's a mystery. It's a mystery wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma.